All right, you are now live.
Cool, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Meeting is called to order at 4:07 p.m. Before we get started, we'll just read the municipality's specific land acknowledgement. The Halifax Regional Municipality is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaties signed in this territory and recognizes that we are all treaty people. We'll start today's meeting with a roll call and AV check. When I call your name, I would ask that each member ensure their video and microphone is working. So we'll start with Councillor Laura White.
Hello, everybody here.
Thank you. Councillor Jean Saint-Amand.
Hi, everybody. I'm here.
Thank you. Glenn Babcock.
Everything seems to be running.
Thanks, Glenn. Anne Sinclair.
Hi, everyone. I'm here.
Thank you. Jamil Sino.
Hey, how's it going?
Cool. Hi. Thanks for being here. Kathy Stevenson.
I'm here. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Thank you. Oliver Keith, I don't see. Perhaps later. Nicholas Harris.
I'm here.
Thank you. And Rochelle Manette, that's me. I'm here, and presumably you can all hear me. We have regrets from Councillor Trish Purdy and from Celine Vatour. And now we'll move on to the approval of minutes from June 16th. So I will now ask if there are any errors or omissions for the minutes of June 16th, 2025 meeting. If there are none, I will invite a member to move the following motion that the minutes of June 16th, 2025 Accessibility Advisory Committee be approved as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Laura.
I will.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, I will call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Also raise my hand. Thank you. All those opposed say nay or raise your hand. Seeing none, the motion has been carried. Moving on to order of business and approval of additions and deletions. We will now move on to the approval of the order of business for today's meeting. To our legislative assistant, are there any changes to today's agenda?
There are no changes to today's agenda.
Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, I will invite a member of the committee to move the following motion that the agenda be approved as presented.
I'll move.
Thank you,
Second.
Jamil. Thank you. Was that Jean Saint-Amand?
Yes.
Cool, thank you. All right. I will call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise hands.
Aye.
Great, thank you. And all those opposed say nay or raise hands. Seeing none, great. The motion has been carried. Business arising out of minutes. There is no business arising out of the minutes. Call for declaration of conflict of interests. I will now ask if anyone has a conflict of interest to declare as a result of an item on today's agenda. Seeing none. Saw some head shakes. That's good. We will move on. Consideration of deferred business. There is none. Correspondence, petitions, and delegations. To our clerk, has any correspondence been received or petitions?
No correspondence or petitions have been received by the clerk's office.
Thank you. Also seeing no presentations, and there are no information items brought forward. So we are moving on to point 9, discussion. So I will invite Melissa Myers to speak to the memo distributed about the discussion of the 2025 annual town hall.
Thank you so much, Chair. Nice to see everyone here. So I'd just like to give the committee a update on the progress of rollout with the town hall. So we do have a vendor secured for the live stream. That's very exciting. So it's a vendor that has been doing the live stream for this event for the past 3 to 4 years, so they're quite familiar with the layout of the town hall. myself and Elizabeth, we have a meeting with them next week on the book. Just to go over a little bit of changes that compared to the last town hall with this one, and just how things will all run a little bit. So that's great news. We have most of the business units identified on either who's going to sit on the panel or who's going to be at the booth. There's only 2 business units where I'm still kind of in contact to get a name, but overall, I think we're in a pretty good place with that. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at in terms of that. One of the things that we would like to chat about tonight, but I can wait if anyone has any questions first. Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Looks like
No.
Jamil, you have a question.
There you
Go
go.
ahead.
Oh, I was just wanted a clarification. I thought, was it correct that you said that we're still waiting on the response from 2 different business units?
We are just in terms of identifying who will be there.
Okay.
But like, don't worry, I'm kind of following up with them on a weekly basis, so I'm not really that concerned at this point.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so one thing that Elizabeth and myself would like to hopefully have a discussion about tonight is more the roles and responsibilities that committee members can have the day of the event. There are a lot of roles and responsibilities. As Rochelle, you would be aware of from previous town halls. And the reason why we want to do it early with the group is that way if we have to pull in other people from our department as extra volunteers for the event, it's good to us early because people calendars get booked up quick. So what we thought we would do is we'll go through the list of, responsibilities and roles. Because we're missing a couple people tonight, Elizabeth might put it out to the committee, and hopefully by maybe in the next week we could get confirmation from everyone. So Elizabeth, I don't know if you want to share your screen, and we'll
Yeah.
just
Absolutely. Give me a moment there.
and if people already want to put their name with the role, you can totally do that.
Everyone able to see that?
Yep.
So we have a few. I'll kind of just I try to make it bigger. So some of the roles that we have, sighted guides, mic runners, food table, virtual Q&A facilitator. I'll be doing that and helping with that as well. Q&A table, timekeeping role, floater. So Melissa, I don't know if you think would you like to maybe go around to committee members and see what roles everyone would be interested in on like through the speakers list, or how would you like to do that?
Yeah, do would people like more clarification first on some of the roles? Or is there any that are people are unsure of what the duties might be.
Maybe it would be a good idea, Elizabeth, if you just went through like a little description of each role, and then, if anyone has questions, we can go through the speakers list, or like questions, or if someone wants to just immediately volunteer.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you just mean like reading kind of that description and the,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I can
Cool.
definitely do that.
Great.
So the first one there is, so moderator, Rochelle as the chair will be the moderator. So we have someone for that. Cited guides, we're looking for 3 people for that. The description is using the Canadian National Institute for the Blind Sighted Guide technique, guides to be provided. These committee members will be available to assist residents who require assistance with moving throughout Paul O'Regan Hall during the event. These positions will be most active at the beginning and end of the town hall, but available throughout the event as needed. Can move on to the next one if no one has any questions. The next one is mic runners. So this is 2 members. There's a note there. It says likely counselors. I know in previous town halls, it's been counselors that are on the committee that have served as mic runners. So the description for that one, 2 members will be provided with wireless microphones and moved to individuals throughout Paul O'Regan Hall during the Q&A session. The mic runners will be responsible for holding the microphones for each resident as they ask their questions. Next, we have 2 food table, and we're looking for 2 people for that. So for this one, we'll have 2 members stationed at the food table in case individuals need assistance. And these individuals should be familiar with the ingredients of the food and potential allergens. The next one, I'm just going to bold this so it matches everything else. Panel assembly. So we'd be looking for 3 people for help with that. So 2 to 3 members will be needed to move the table from the panel to the side of the room to clear the floor space. And these volunteers would be looking for individuals comfortable with lifting and moving heavy items. Next is the virtual Q&A facilitator. So I will be I will be helping with this as well. The LA normally transfers questions from Zoom to a Google Sheet, but my understanding is this is someone that's going to read the questions out loud. I believe, Rochelle, before you were chair, you had done this role before. So the description for that one is a staff member will be responsible for gathering the questions that are being submitted through the Q&A function in Zoom. The committee member in this role will be responsible for asking questions on behalf of residents into a dedicated mic throughout the Q&A session, and they will be stationed at the Q&A table. Next one there is Q&A table. For this one, we'd be looking for 2 members or 2 people for this. You'd be stationed near the entrance exit of the room. 2 committee members will have question sheets and pens and pencils so that residents who may not be comfortable in asking their questions live are able to submit them in writing. These positions will be joined at the table by one of the virtual Q&A facilitators who can ask the written questions on behalf of the residents. The next role is timekeeping. So this is a role for one person. And in this one, you'd be stationed at the back of Paul O'Regan Hall. This position will provide visual cues for the moderator to help keep track of time. So this role will keep the time on their phone, resetting 3 minutes for each new speaker for the duration of the Q&A session and the visioning session, and use 2 pieces of cardstock to signify 30 seconds left, yellow paper, and the end of time. Red paper, if anyone's watched a councillor standing committee meeting before, what we do is we just kind of have like a paddle with the sheet, like a limited sheet kind of taped onto that. Mass at front entry. This one, is TBD, may not need a volunteer for this role. I guess the alternate would just be having like a box of masks at the front for anyone who wishes to wear a mask or put on a fresh mask. So this position will be at a table at the front entrance at the beginning, so maybe from 6 to 6:30, to provide masks to attendees equipped with a sign stating that masks are encouraged. Legislative support, this will be from a member of the clerk's office. So committee won't be needed for that. And the final role is floater, and we'd be looking for one member for this. In the event that a committee member or staff is not able to attend at the last minute, this staff member will step into the vacant role. This person may also provide short-term coverage for another role listed above. This staff member should review the CNIB materials for the signed guide role. This person will be in charge of pulling the curtains for the event.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So I think we'll go through the speakers list and see if anyone has any questions or wants more information about any of the roles, or if you just feel really excited about one of the roles and want to immediately sign up to make sure that you get it. That seems like a good time to do it as well. Right now on my speakers list, I have Oliver Keith first, although I don't think Oliver has joined the meeting unless I've just missed something. Is that correct?
No, Oliver has not yet.
Okay.
joined the team.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so moving on to Glenn Babcock.
Okay, well, I think I could pretty much do any of those roles. There's a little bit of irony to me being the sighted guide, perhaps, but my indoor mobility is pretty good. That being said, I might not want to do the mic running. Other than that, anything that's manual labor involved, so moving stuff around, happy to do that. I wouldn't mind having the power of being the timekeeper and telling people when to stop talking. And I suppose since I figured I could do pretty much any of the roles, maybe I could just be the floater, because it might mean I would get to do any of those roles. But I'm not particularly attached to any of them, so whatever you need me to do.
Cool. Thanks, Glenn. We will keep that in mind. Although the floater thing does seem like a good fit for you since you're willing to do many or most. Oh, and then there's some questions happening in the chat, and we can come back to those shortly. All right, anything else? Any other questions or comments, Glenn, before I move on?
Nope, no, I'm good.
Cool, thank you. All right, next up on the speakers list is Nicholas Harris.
Yeah, no questions on my end. Pretty open. I'm definitely interested in kind of the Q&A support, so happy to jump in with those for sure. And then so happy to fill if there's other areas that need support. But yeah, that'd probably be my first pick, would be kind of Q&A, helping with that kind of aspect.
Cool, thank you, Nick. Next on the speakers list is Anne Sinclair.
Yes, thank you. I could be a mic runner.
Great, thank you. I love that people are just like into these jobs right now. This is perfect. Cool, thank you, Anne. Jamil, I feel like maybe, well, I mean, your question did get answered in the chat, but if you want to restate it for everyone, that'd be great. Or if you have any more questions.
I was just wondering how the food table volunteers would know what the ingredients are in the food. And it was answered that the information would be communicated to me or communicated to the person prior to the event. But I don't have any more questions. I think I would just I'll volunteer for panel disassembly because I'm comfortable with carrying some like heavy stuff, and that should be no big issues.
Great, thank you, Jamil. Next up is Councillor Laura White.
Yes, I will happily take the traditional role of mic runners because I feel like I can listen the best doing that. I don't want to miss what people are saying, so that'd be great.
Cool, thank you. Next up is Councillor Jean Saint-Amand.
I was perfectly prepared to volunteer to be a mic runner as well. I have a question about the typical participation process on the mic runner side of things. So do we have sort of a standard set of, first name and then your question, or is there like some sort of preamble that we're going to use every time for each of those folks? I mean, I would imagine that you as moderator will wind up telling them that anyway, and then we won't have to repeat it. But I just wanted to make sure that we were, documenting the fact that there is an expectation of a particular introduction for each question.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I recall correctly, that would be me as the moderator, like my job to tell people to do that.
Yep.
A little reminder is probably good because usually there's like time between the mic runner getting to the person and
Yeah,
them
fair.
actually asking their question. So a little reminder of like, don't forget to say your name and then ask your question kind of thing may be
Mhm.
helpful. Yeah, but that's a great question.
Cool. Okay. That's really all I have.
Great. Thank you. And I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Elizabeth or Melissa, about what I just answered. I was just going off memory, so.
I don't have anything to add. I don't know if Melissa, if you have you had anything to add?
I think that was great, Michelle, and people that were my corners, it was like very casual, like just going up to the person and saying, okay, what's your question? And yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you both. Next on the speaker list is Kathy Stevenson.
Hi, I'm not going to be able to participate in that. I'm having surgery.
Oh, thank you for letting us know. I hope that surgery goes well.
I'm on the urgent list, but I live in Nova Scotia, right? So
I do know.
Yes, well, there you go.
I think there may be, and I can't speak for everyone on this committee, but I think there may be a solid understanding of that sort of situation from this committee, especially.
I've got like a 2-week to 12-week window, so hopefully I survive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for letting us know. We'll be thinking of you.
Okay.
All right, and last on the speaker list is me. I don't think I really have any questions. I already know what my role is. I will say that some of the roles could probably double up, like some of the less intricate ones, perhaps. Also to mention that I think this document probably is from like previous years, and the visioning session was mentioned, but just to clarify for everybody that we're not having a visioning session because it hasn't been super useful in the past few years, right? But unless I totally forgot what we're doing. We've sort of replaced that with that, like the information booths instead. It's just for everyone's peace of mind, that's how that will go. Yeah, I don't really have any questions because I already know what my role is. So yeah, I think I'll just hand it back to Elizabeth and Melissa.
All right. So I guess based on what we heard, I guess if we're treating this kind of as a working document, Len, I heard you were interested in floater. So I'll put you in for that. Anyone, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, or if I misheard. For Q&A, that was, oops. Nick, you said you were interested in that. And you said you were interested in the food table. Okay. Jamil panel disassembly. And this I'm thinking is maybe one of the roles that could be doubled up on if like someone could do panel disassembly and then.
That's what floaters are for.
Okay.
And that, yeah, if it's needed elsewhere, I can also just float around doing something else in the interim. I'm assuming the panel disassembly is not going to happen during the event, so.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And counselors Saint Amand and White. Mic runners. Think that was everyone. So we can also reach out to, it's not here today, Counselor Purdy, Oliver, and Celine to see what their preference would be and kind of send them this document as well to kind of get an idea of who's kind of already committed or expressed an interest in what role. Don't think I have anything else right now. I don't know, Melissa, did you have anything to add? I think this is a good start.
Yeah, I think that this is a great start, and like Rochelle said, people can do multiple roles because there are some roles that you're not going to be doing at the same. And also, I don't know if people saw in the chat, like, if you're interested in being a study guide, there is a little video that we can send to you folks just to show you how to go over things.
I see Nick's hand up. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I just had a thought. I'm wondering if the Q&A table and the Zoom Q&A table can just be the same place. I don't know functionally how that works from previous years, but I'm just wondering if that's already happening through one role. I don't know, based on past years' quantity of questions, if it is necessary to be separated and like for flow and that sort of thing, just where we have mic runners and the Q&A submitting via paper is like a secondary. I wonder if that can be combined instead, and then it just takes away the need for the roles. Just had that thought.
If it's okay, can I reply to that comment?
Oh, go ahead, Melissa.
Thank you. So the reason why they were two separate is because people may not feel comfortable vocalizing their questions. So having the Q&A table is where people can go up. You can help whoever's going to be at that table. You can help them write their question if they need assistance. And then that person, we would collect those questions at the end. Or if there is time, maybe the mic runner could ask those questions. But we're just trying to give multiple ways for people to provide their feedback because not everyone feels comfortable speaking in front of people. So that's why they were. So.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. I guess I'm just trying to visualize like where the Zoom Q&A table would be, and if it was like, if this Q&A table was like totally somewhere else, or if it was in like a similar zone to where the Zoom Q&A table, and just again thinking about the amount of people that we have in the committee and then the amount of roles that we require.
Yeah, I guess Zoom is a lot because with Zoom you gotta be constantly monitoring when those questions are coming. So like this is why if we need extra people on this is why Elizabeth and London like they kind of know early so we can reach out to call it to see if they can
Thank you, Melissa. I also will add that both of those roles like can be very involved. Like sometimes there's like, you know, ebbs and flows of them, but like in a perfect world, they're both kind of involved. And so actually splitting them a little bit, I think is generally helpful. I did the Zoom Q&A moderation last year and it was just, you sort of have to be like on. And if other people are coming over to like write their questions and like dictate their questions, then it can be like a lot to process auditorily. For me, at least it was. So I liked having them separated. Cool. Great. Any other thoughts, questions, comments from folks now that we're sort of in the loosely structured part, I think, unless there's something else that we need to be talking about with regards to the town hall or any other updates that we need.
To the chair, there is no more updates at this point. The only other thing that could be discussed tonight or can be discussed at a later date is about food and what we would like to maybe have. So either we can open that up for discussion now, or we can put it on next meeting's agenda. I just, if people want to discuss now, I just need a minute to open up something in previous years.
Yeah. I guess this is a nice time to take temperature of the room. Like, how are folks feeling? Are we like, hey, a nice short meeting is good? I know the counselors need to go to another meeting that has already started. And then we can have more time to look at the food documents. I imagine there's documents for it. Does anyone feel really strongly about wanting to talk about food right now? Maybe that's the question I should ask. I mean, I always want to talk about food, but okay. I'm seeing none, and perhaps this is just a nice end of August short meeting to talk quickly about the rules. Cool. Seeing some thumbs up. Great. All right, let me just get back to my agenda. Cool. So date of the next meeting is September 15th. If we're all feeling like this was a good length of time, nice short meeting, I will invite a member of the committee to move for adjournment.
So moved.
Thank you, Jean Saint-Amand. The
I'll
meeting
second.
has, oh, thank you. Thank you, Jamil. The meeting has been adjourned at, what time is it? 4:39. Quickest meeting maybe that I've ever attended for the Accessibility Advisory Committee. So congrats to
everybody.
everyone.
Thanks, Rochelle. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
Thank you. Thanks
Have a good
all.
one.